And in the wake of that mass shooting, Mayor Brandon Scott's youth curfew program faced renewed scrutiny. And a recent report actually from the nonprofit Marshall Project says these curfews aren't effective at reducing youth violence.
11 News I-Team reporter Tolly Taylor joins us now live in the newsroom. Tolly, in that one-on-one with the mayor, he said reducing youth gun violence was never the point of this.
Right. He says that the youth curfew is not about reducing juvenile gun violence. It's about connecting kids and families with services and keeping kids safe. But when we pressed him on when that data will be available to show those connections are being made, the mayor said those results won't be publicly available until the end of the summer. Within 24 hours of 2 teens being shot at the Inner Harbor on April 9th, Mayor Brandon Scott announced he was bringing back a youth curfew for the first time in years, beginning Memorial Day weekend. The curfew dictates that teens 16 and under must be inside their homes by certain times on weeknights and weekends, unless they're with a parent or guardian. If they're out past those times, social workers and other non-law enforcement staff encourage them to go home or offer them a ride to a youth connection center where they can be picked up. The nonprofit Marshall Project's Lakedra Chavis says there's one problem with that.
If the ultimate goal is to address gun violence, what prompted this return of the curfew in Baltimore in the first place, curfews aren't going to do that.
Chavis's recent reporting on youth curfews found there are a dozen cities across the country using youth curfews, including Baltimore. Days after Chavis's story was published, a mass shooting at a block party in Baltimore injured more than a dozen teenagers. Chavis tells me that while politicians across the country passionately believe these curfews will curb youth gun violence, the data says something else.
That it is just not reflective of, what actual research for decades has shown about juvenile curfews.
This is not solely about youth violence.
Scott says it doesn't matter if youth curfews don't reduce youth gun violence. That's not why he implemented it.
The real important work has always been about the services that were offered to those young people and their families.
Scott says it's about reaching kids who don't have anyone watching out for them. Kids who, he says, are out at night because they don't have a responsible parent telling them to come home. What do you say to people who say that parents know what's best for their kids? If they want to let them out, that's okay, and not the government?
I would say that anybody that says that is an idiot, because if a parent is allowing their 9, 10-year-old to be out at 1 o'clock, they obviously don't know what's best for their kid.
But maybe a 16-year-old?
16-year-old should not be out at 1 a.m. in the morning either. That person's also an idiot.
The youth curfew is estimated to cost the city about $500,000 by the time it ends on September 3rd. On Thursday, we asked what the engagement numbers look like so far. How many citations have been issued with the youth curfew?
So citations, as of yet, they're very little to none.
How many youth have been transported to the rec centers?
None so far.
But Scott did say that social workers and other staff enforcing the curfew are seeing positive results.
They've seen the engagement. They said, listen, by and large, the kids disperse.
But if you're looking for actual numbers for how many youth the staff have interacted with, Scott says those numbers won't be available until the end of the summer.
Once we get through the summer and take a look back, that's what I'm going to be looking to see how many young people we were able to connect to different things.
Another aspect of the youth curfew that research shows is ineffective, Chavis says, fining families for violating curfew. Fines can range from $50 to $500 in Baltimore. For the 11 News I-Team, I'm Tolly Taylor.